this is episode 4, I believe, of my planner refresh series. So today I'm talking about my plans section, which is basically all of the planners in, all of the calendars in my planner. Anything to do with dates, really. So the first insert that I've got in this section is important dates. So this is just all of the bank holidays and when Christmas is and everything. Just a basic page made on Canva. So obviously I need to update that for 2023. So this is one that I've just made on Canva. I will make it available on my freebies folder if anyone wants it. This does go right down to the bottom. It's just because I don't have borderless printing, so I might print it again on A4 and trim around it just so it looks a bit nicer. But it's just a basic list of when the bank holidays are. It's just handy to have. The next thing that I've got is a perpetual calendar, which is basically just a list of birthdays. So I've just created a simple insert that's just got all the birthdays on there that I can keep and update and print out when I need to. I've just done that on Canva. The next thing that I've got is a future log. So this has been really handy. I've sort of allowed myself to be really scribbly in this and cross things out and that kind of thing, just because it's just a reference thing really, and I actually like the way it looks all scribbly, and I can still, you know, find what I need to find on there, so that's good. The sticky dots are useful because it helps me see how busy I am. So I've just sort of made my own version of that on Microsoft Word, and I will be using that for 2023. So that is my future log. I've then got, in my current system, I've just got some dates here for 2023, and I'll be using this just to write down any future dates for 2024. There probably won't be that many, but it's useful to have somewhere to write them down if anything does come up. And then the last thing in this section is an annual leave calendar, which is also really useful. So again, I've made my own on Microsoft Word, and it's just a simple grid, same as this, where I can just fill in the dates with a highlighter. For myself and my husband will be different colours on there. So they're all the sort of miscellaneous calendars. And then I've actually updated my monthly. So I was using the month on 2 pages by Rose and Mist. I've been using those all year, and they have worked quite well for me for the sort of probably 3/4 of the year. But as we've gone on, I've sort of struggled what to use all of the different spaces for. So I wanted to freshen it up a little bit. So I've made this version. I'll just take my page marker out so you can see it properly. So it's very similar. I've still got the calendar with the sections underneath. So I'm basically just putting a dot on any day that anything is happening. And down here I've listed everything. It's sort of in date order, but obviously things crop up and they're, you know, you can't move anything. So I've done that. And then obviously with the Rose and Mist ones, you've got 1 to 31 down here, and then you've got a section down here, a little calendar, and a list section here. So I was using this section here for brain dumps, and I've now split that into 4 sections on here, so you can see it's divided into 4. I got that idea from Julie at Plan to Create. She does that in some of her inserts for notes and lists and things. It's a really good idea, especially if you've got small handwriting and you don't need a whole page for notes, it's great to sort of divide it into 4, and then you don't have to waste a whole page for a note. So I've got home section, personal, planner and art, so basically hobbies, and miscellaneous, and then down here I've got books of the month. So I'm not subscribed to book of the month or anything like that, it's just the books that I want to read this month. So I'm sort of refining it a little bit and narrowing things down, sort of organising things in a slightly different way. And I got rid of to buy this month, because if there's anything I need to buy, I'll pop it on here. Budget I do separately on a spreadsheet anyway. I've still got my books that I'm reading, and then obviously all my appointments are down here. So this is sort of a trial run for the rest of the year, I think, and it seems to be working quite well. So this is what I will use for for brain dumping when I talked in my last video about my my own version of getting things done. So my planner capture spots would be here, and the one in my weeklies, which is here. So that's the way that's going to work. So that's my monthly, and then I also actually made it a month on 4 pages. So I've got this sort of summary brain dump, and I don't know whether I'm going to keep this or not, but I've got a month on 2 pages, which I really like the extra space, and I thought that I could use this for literally dumping everything on. So any TV shows, any films that are being released, any YouTube videos that I want to watch, any local events that we are going to or thinking of going to. I've already got some things in here, like The Crown season 5 is on Netflix on the 9th. Ali Edwards December Daily Prep Day, all that kind of thing. So I don't know, I think it'd be quite nice to have, but I don't know how much I'd use it, how much I'd actually reference it. So that's something I'm trying out, and I think it would be quite good to sort of try and colour code on it as well, just because that looks a bit bland, let's be honest. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then obviously if I do use it, once you turn over it just goes straight on to the next month, so you'd have the brain dump here and everything. So just trying that out at the moment, but yeah, I quite like this new sort of format. It's sometimes, even if an insert is working for you, it's still nice to just sort of refresh it. And then on to my weeklies. I've been sort of evolving these since about August, September time. I just keep changing them each week. So it started off with, I've got like a column here for events and appointments, and then I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I thought that's too much room for tasks, I don't need that much space. And then I had my workouts, meals, zone cleaning, incoming, art projects, and then a brain dump on the back. And I really liked this section, but this was too much room for tasks, so I then evolved it into this, which was still the appointments and events here, but I've made the spaces for the tasks smaller, and I've put the this is going to be really hard to explain. I've got my half sheet here. I've basically taken all of these and put some here and some here, so that worked fairly well, but it felt a bit disjointed, I think is the best word to say, a bit all over the place. And I've got my brain dump here, so I then changed it again, and I've got events and appointments here, TV shows here, YouTube here, so YouTube videos that I wanted to watch. I've got back my weekly capture and my brain dump, and then I've got my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday tasks here, and a little notes section there. Still didn't like that. I didn't think that I needed all this space just for these two things, because you can see here that I've not written anything at all down there. I also didn't write anything here because I've got a brain dump here, so why do I need a notes box there? So I used that again, and I changed it to media in this column and eat and move in this column. So I've got what's for dinner and the workout that I'm doing. Then I've put zone cleaning, waiting on, and projects back up here. And again, wasn't really sure about that version, so I changed it, used it for another week, make sure that I definitely wasn't sure about it. And then I've changed it to this, which is what I'm currently using now and what I plan to use for next year until I decide to change it again. So it started with this version. I did try and do like some shading in these boxes, but this is sort of a horrible yellowy colour. I really struggle with my computer and my printer. My computer screen is not fantastic, and colours look very cool on it, and then when I print them, they print very washed out and very contrasted. Whereas if I look at things on my iPad, it's a much better colour, obviously, because it's more expensive. It's HP versus Apple. So I had to try and figure out the hex code that would print the colour that I actually wanted, rather than how it was on my iPad screen. So on my iPad screen, a certain hex code would look perfect, and then I'd print it out and it'd be wrong. So I had to try and, yeah, that was all fun and games. I won't go into it, but yeah. So I've come up with this colour, and I really like that. It's sort of a warm grey, and it's almost the same colour as my planner, which is strange. It is in my light. I think it's slightly different on the camera. But I've basically got my events and appointments in this column, and I'm putting TV shows in that column as well, because obviously they're at scheduled time. And I've got meals, workouts, zone cleaning, waiting on, projects, self-care, read, so books I'm reading at the moment, and then art tutorials. I've put my capture list back in, and I've clipped it to my today marker, just to make it easier to flip between. So that's still working for me. I've got a post-it note there about my next video. This is because I've got a busy day today, so I've just used this as a sort of daily page, really. This is from Studio 17, and I really like that, actually. I love the minimalist look of it. I love the colour of it. It's really nice, so I will be using those more often when I have busy days. And then again, I've just got the Monday to Sunday boxes, and I've made my grid smaller as well, and I really like them. I think they're nice and neat, and there's a blank one, and I'll be using those for next year. But yeah, I really like those. I have put the month wrong up there, but I'm not too worried. So that is basically what I'm doing with my calendars in 2023. So that's my plans section. So my next video, obviously, if you've got any questions, please put them below. Excuse me. I'll try and put everything that I can into my freebies folder. I would say that the future log and the monthly and the weekly and things, a lot of people are asking me if I am selling those. Not at this stage. There's quite a lot that goes into opening an Etsy shop, and it's a lot to look into and a lot of financial things to get familiar with, and it's just not something that I have time for at the moment. So that's not something that I'd be looking to do at the moment. Obviously, if it happens in the future, I will mention it on my channel. And I won't be offering them as freebies purely for the fact that I don't want to take away business from other planner companies. I don't think it's fair for me to offer something that I've based on someone else's designs for free. It's not something that feels right to me. So it's not me being selfish not offering freebies. I don't want to take that business away from other people, especially in this current time. It's just not fair. So I hope you understand that. If there's anything sort of deco related that you like the look of, I'm happy to put that in my freebie folder. Just send me a message on Instagram or comment below. So like my important dates, I'll probably put that in the freebie folder. And this is in my freebie folder at the moment, my autumn aesthetic. I really like how this looks actually. I've left a little gap. I actually printed it the wrong side. It was a happy accident. But I've left a little gap and I've clipped it to my acetate, and I quite like the way that looks. It'd be quite nice to have some sort of floral vellum behind it or something. Might look quite nice. So that was going off on a bit of a tangent, but yeah, that's why I don't share everything. I'd love to be really generous and share all of my inserts and everything, but they do take a long time to make as well. So and obviously shops that sell things like that, they must spend hours producing all these things for you to buy, and I just don't think it is right to take that away from them. Potentially, I'm not saying that that I would, but yeah, that's the reason why. So I just wanted to say that, because I have had quite a few comments asking for things like that. So yeah, my next video will be about my home section. I've actually got section 3 is home, section 4 is money. I'm actually going to combine those, making a little change there. I don't know when I'll film that. It's getting quite hard to film at the moment, just because it's obviously the clocks have changed. It's getting dark quite early, but I will do my best to get that out as soon as I can. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks very much for watching.